Hi everyone, wish you all a very happy new year. So I hope you guys had a great time with your friends, family, etc. and are ready to begin this wonderful year. Anyways, I have mentioned in my previous video that I will be reviewing this book on How to Get Rich by Donald Trump. And now I can tell you that I've finished going over this book. So today I decided why not get started with this. So this will be my first video of a series of book reviews to tell you guys about the books I've read and what I thought about it. And this will sort of give you some insight on whether this book is right for you. If it is right for you, then you can go ahead and purchase this book at your nearest store or buy it off Amazon. So let's get started. First, this book, we know who the author is. It's Donald Trump, who's the president of the US at the moment. And so that is something that everyone knows, right? What do we not know about Trump? Or what do a lot of people don't know about him? Trump, as you can see over here, is also a very famous real estate magnate. So he's into selling various real estates, typically the upper end or high-end real estate to high net worth individuals. So he's not only famous in New York or Manhattan, he has done a lot of real estate projects in New York and particularly in Manhattan, but he's also done it overseas, like in South Korea. You know, the capital is Seoul, right? He has done his world towers over there, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. And he has also done a real estate project recently, I think it was a year ago or so, in Bombay, that is in Worli. And also he's into media, so he has been on and off media. He was into this show called The Apprentice, wherein interviewers used to come in to his show and they were interviewed by Donald Trump for $100,000 a year job in his organization. In addition to this, did you know that he also bought Miss Universe and Miss USA, and he's directing the shows for that particular programs, for those particular programs. So that's about Donald Trump. Now let's get to the top reasons why I think this book was great. So first of all, I would tell you that out of all of the other books that I have read, a lot of the books I end up reading, say this much out of the entire book. Because what happens is when I go through certain pages, I just get bored, or I just find this a little too difficult to read. I would say that this book was an exception to the rule, because this book was very, very easy to read. I personally found it very, very simple to go over and read at a lightning speed, because everything is so simply explained, and also it is very relevant to our lives. So you'll be able to connect with a lot that is written in this book. That's the reason why I was able to complete the entire book. You know, I very rarely complete entire books. So that's one key point. Now, let's go to the top reasons why this book was great. First, as I've told you, it is very easy to read. You do not need to have a very high IQ to sort of grasp the content, because the content is very simple. It's very easy to read, because they don't use any sort of jargon. They don't use those high-end words. There are a few high-end words, but not that much. So for someone with a medium vocabulary, medium to low vocabulary, they would find this book very easy to read. Second, I would say there is no financial knowledge that is required in order to read this book. You don't need to know about stocks, bonds, derivatives, etc. This book is very simple to read for any newbie and can serve as a great introduction to personal finance. Third, you can learn through examples of Donald's life. So this book does not just give you advice on how to manage your money or how to excel in the workplace or in business, but it also gives you examples or insights into how Donald did it himself. So learning through examples is also considered one of the best ways to learn, and what you learn really sticks into your head. So that's a great point there. Third, it is suitable for a lot of different people. He has not made this book specifically aimed at someone. So it is suitable if you're an employee, it is suitable if you are a businessman, and in addition, it is suitable for you if you're also an interviewee. That is, you're going out there into the real world after having graduated, or even if you have experience, you're going out there to give interviews. So how do you tackle that? Trump will teach you how. Next, it is easy to apply his success tricks because they're quite simple to follow. And I'll give you an example. Let's go to page 11. So I'll read an extract. I don't want it to be a spoiler for you. So I'll just read a small passage so that you get a gist of it. So this is from the chapter, this is from part 1, the Donald J. Trump School of Business and Management. The sub-chapter is maintain your momentum. So it says, no matter what you're managing, don't assume you can glide by. Momentum is something you have to work at to maintain. So this gives the importance of momentum, right? Often we start off our business or work, with a very positive vibe. And as we get on, we sort of stop there, and think, oh, why is it so difficult to learn? Or why am I not getting it? And it's okay to ask these questions, but sometimes we just stop right there and we are like, forget it. I'm going to do something else, So what he says over here is to maintain a momentum. Whatever you do, maintain that level of effort. Maintain that level of quality. So very easy to follow. It's something that we all can relate to. Next, you can learn how to turn failure to success. So what I liked about this book is he has mentioned very clearly, Donald Trump, as to the times when he has failed in his business. And he has also mentioned a solution to it that he has practically applied, which, as I've said earlier, is easy to follow. And that has solved this problem. This has solved the issue that he has faced in his business. And it has turned the failure to success. Next, it includes a pictures gallery. So a lot of the personal finance books, or any of the books out there, are mainly just texts and texts and texts. But this book includes a picture gallery like this one. So a picture gallery somewhere in the middle of the book tells you about his colleagues. It shows who they are. It shows who his family is. And I feel that it also relates to a lot of the scenes which have been mentioned in the other parts of the book, So I think it's great. It's something very unique out there. Next, you can learn how to invest. So let's look at page 123. So here he gives some advice saying, the wisest thing I can tell you is to invest only in the products you understand with people you can trust. What a great advice. Sometimes we see big things and we tend to go for it without understanding whether that thing is really suitable for us, and often whether that particular thing is actually of any use. We often don't even understand what we are doing. So he mentions a great investment advice over here is that if you don't know what this product is about or what exactly in what way it's going to help you, just not use it, just do not invest in it. So that's one thing. Then, which I thought was great and very applicable to a lot of us. Next, learn about day in the life of Donald. So one more wonderful thing about this book is that you get to learn about what it is to be Donald Trump, what it is to have a week, not just a day, but in fact a week in the real estate business, being at the level that Trump is currently. So which page can we go to for that? Page 194. Yeah, so here I'll show you. You can see that there is Monday. It writes about what all he's been doing, and you can find interesting things out here, like how long is his lunch break. You can also learn how busy that person is, how he manages his time. So it goes all the way from 9 a.m. till around 8:30 p.m. So you get to know about what it is to be working as a Donald Trump, what it is to be an entrepreneur like Donald Trump. Next, the last point over here is there are chapters as well as sub-chapters. So let's take, for example, the first part over here. The Donald J. Trump School of Business and Management, Part 1. Now over here, there are a variety of chapters, sub-chapters, like Be a General. So this goes on for 1, 2, 3, 4 pages, and then you have the sub-chapter saying Stay Focused. This goes for around 1, 2, 3. Again, 3 pages, and then you have the next chapter which says Maintain Your Momentum. So now you might be wondering, why is this useful? This is useful because often we get bored of reading tons and tons of pages under a same subheading, or say over here, a sub-chapter. What this book does is, it works for those who have a shorter attention span, so as to read the book, go over each chapter or sub-chapter at a fast pace. This helps a lot because it first doesn't make you bored of it. You can go into the next chapter quickly, and you know that. So that creates a good, creates sort of a encouraging vibe, so that you go on to next chapters quickly, and doesn't make you bored. It makes you, in fact, a lot more interested. That's what I thought. So those are the top reasons why I thought this book is great. It's brilliant. Next, is this book for you? So here we will determine the suitability of this book to you, whether this book is the right book for you, whether you should read it or not. So I would say this book is for those who obviously, as the book suggests, they want to get rich. Yeah, so if you want to get rich, you want to go ahead in life, in your career, in financial terms, and make great career progression, then this book is for you. Number 2, you want an introduction into personal finance. So what I would say about this book, a special thing, is that you don't need to be a personal finance expert. You don't need to be someone from a financial background in order to understand the rules which have been implied in this book, the rules of life, the rules of career. You can learn just as anyone else can if they read this book. Your background does not matter. So if you want an introduction to a personal finance book or the personal finance world, I would highly recommend that you buy this book and you read it. Third, you want to improve yourself personally and professionally. This book, like a lot of the self-development books, focuses on the reality of life and how we can improve ourselves so that we achieve in this increasingly complex world. So if you want to improve yourself personally as well as professionally so that you are all set to achieve your goal of getting rich, then I think this book is a good start. After this book, you can start reading other personal finance books to sort of get more into depth as to what you have to do and how you have to manage your investments if you want to get rich. Finally, I would say this book is not for those who expect detailed, in-depth financial advice. This book is just an introduction into personal finance. It's sort of to set you in the path of achieving your future, being financially free, etc. So this helps you with that. But it does not really get into the nitty-gritties of finance. It doesn't tell you more about stocks, bonds, derivatives, other financial instruments that are out there, which people use in order to make money and in order to increase their net worth. It doesn't tell you about that. This book is just a straightforward guide into personal finance field so that you're just able to get started on the course of getting rich. And it's just about changing yourself, changing the way you think and what you do in order to get the financial success that you're dreaming of. It has a bit of personal finance. It does get into personal finance, but not in that extreme rigorous depth. So if you're expecting that, this book is not for you. Second, you have some sort of bias against Donald Trump. So a lot of people, in fact, told me before I read this book, before I started reading this book, that, Trump is a person, like they started talking about what bad he has done, what they perceive to be bad. And if you have some sort of bias, like you have some sort of grudge towards him, then this book is not for you, because any sort of bias or grudges influences the person, right? A bias influences the person in a way that the person does not see anything good about him. So why would they listen to him when it comes to financial advice and career-related advice? So if you're a little biased, I wouldn't say in a positive way, but in a negative way towards Donald Trump, then I don't think you're going to really follow the steps over here. Like you will not pay attention to the steps that I mentioned over here in order to achieve financial freedom and in order to get rich. So then I would recommend you to read other books which teach you the same, like teaches you how to manage your money, how to improve yourself and improve your thinking and your thought process so that you go on to the road of success in terms of financial freedom and your personal career in general, your professional career in general. So that's how it is, guys. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you liked this video, hit the like button below, and below that you can also hit the subscribe button if you'd like to hear more from me. So I'm thinking of doing more book reviews for you guys. Again, in terms of self-development, most probably, not fiction, because I'm not that big of a fan of fiction books. So if you're interested in knowing more, hit the subscribe button and stay tuned. The next book I'm thinking of reviewing, by the way, guys, is a famous book by Carnegie. It is called How to Win Friends and Influence People. So if you want to hear from me about this book and you want to know the review and want to know if this book is suitable for you, then hit subscribe down there, and I will see you guys later. Bye. Have a great day and a week.